This video is a short introduction to the Nessus security scanner built by the Tenable company. This video will cover downloading, installing, and registering the scanner. The Nessus vulnerability scanner by the Tenable company is arguably one of the best vulnerability scanners on the market today. It was voted by SecTool's 2009 survey as the world's most popular vulnerability scanner, and it scans for a number of vulnerabilities that would be normally employed by an average hacker in the wild today. It looks for misconfigurations, default passwords, and denial of service. It's one of the tools that's used as the basis for conducting penetration tests or for red teaming activities. By itself, it won't do these, but it does assist teams in conducting these activities. It can also help prepare for audits, including the payment card industry's DSS audit, audits for things like FedRAMP or FISMA compliance, and it consists of two components, a daemon, which does the scanning, and a web client that is used to configure the daemon and report. Downloading Nessus is a simple process. Simply go to the Tenable website and select the download link. It'll take you to the download page where you will see a number of options for different Nessus products that are available, including the Nessus Home, Professional, Manager, and Nessus Cloud. These are all different types of scanners that we can use, but we'll be focusing on the Nessus Home version. So select Download. That will take you to the download page for Nessus Home. Select the correct operating system, and in our case we'll be using Windows for the Windows 10 build. Windows 10 is not listed at the time of this recording, so we will be using the Windows 64-bit for Windows 7 and 8 Microsoft Installer or MSI package. Click the link to begin the download. Read and agree to the subscription agreement, and that will begin the download of the Nessus 64-bit Microsoft installer for the installation of the Nessus vulnerability scanner. Once you have downloaded the Nessus installer or the MSI, launch the installer, click Next, and you will be greeted with the regular licensing agreement. Read the licensing agreement, and if you agree with that, accept the terms and click Next. This is the default location for Nessus. You can change this if you like. For this install, we'll go ahead and use the default location. Click Next and install. The Nessus scanning engine will begin installing, and during the installation process, if the WinPCAP drivers are not loaded on your machine, you'll have the opportunity to load WinPCAP in the Nessus install. Agree to that as well. If you do agree, click Next. The installation will be completed, and you'll go back to completing the Nessus installation. Once the Nessus installation is completed, click Finish, and you will be brought to the web page where you can log into the Nessus via SSL connection. Once you reach this SSL page, you can connect to the partially downloaded Nessus client by clicking the link. Normally you will get a security warning because your SSL certificate will not be valid and chained to a root, so you'll have a non-secure connection. Most browsers will warn you about this. If you select the advanced or options to still connect, you can connect to the unsafe local connection. From this, you will be greeted by the welcome screen. Tells you about the Nessus scanner and allows you to click continue to go on with the registration process. You'll need to set up an administrator account. For this, I'll use simply admin and a very simple password. I would suggest that when you do this, you use a very complex password to ensure that no one logs in to your instance of Nessus, and this would actually give them the ability to do some serious damage to your network. I would suggest when you're trying this out, you use it in a lab environment and only scan systems you're authorized to scan. You'll need an activation code for any of the types of Nessus, so you'll need to register for the activation code by following this link. This will take you to the Nessus registration page, and here you can see the different versions of Nessus that are available, the Home, Professional, and Manager, and you can see that other than Home, these definitely cost some money. So for this introduction, we'll be using the free Home version. Make sure you're following the licensing agreements before you use this to scan any environments. To register, you'll need to have a first name, last name, and a valid email address. So of course I'll use my name and a valid email address. The email address is important because the activation code you're going to need is going to be emailed to this address. Once you complete the email, select your country. For me, that's the United States. You'll also want to check that you will want to receive the updates from Tenable and agree to the terms of service. That link will take you to it if you want to read it, and then register for the Nessus. Once you do this, check your email. You should have a activation code that will be used to continue the installation. So here we see we are using the Nessus Home version, and we will put our activation code in and then click Next. Downloading of the remaining parts of Nessus will begin. This actually takes quite a while. I've cut a lot of it out so you don't have to watch a bar. Once the download is completed, the initialization of the scanner will begin. And again, this takes quite a bit of time, so I've shortened this for you in the video. Once installation is done, you'll be prompted with the login. Log in with the username and password that you set earlier in the setup. And then click Sign In. This will bring you to the web interface where you can configure the daemon to do your scanning. Next, we will cover how to configure the scanner, actually scanning targets, and then looking at the output, the reports, and determining what false positives are in the report and actually removing those things that are false positives.